Yes, it's us again. It's still Poet the Poet. And now we have Victoria Sullivan from New York City. Not only writes poetry, but also writes plays, too. She's got quite a bio here. She kind of starts off with the plays, as a matter of fact. Let's see. There's Nonstop to L.A. There's Eleanor at War. I've been at war with Eleanor a number of times myself. Let's see. Greed, Family Court and Sisters, Equity Showcase production of some sort. Let's see. Brunch, Mood, Manhattan. These are very interesting titles. I like this one. You have nothing to lose but your job by spending an evening in Bloomsbury pursuing separate pleasures because they don't only come through windows.
I think you put about 3 titles together there.
Well, it was an anthology show, right? Okay.
It was all in the same year, maybe. But not the same show.
Maybe not quite. It was during the same administration. Let's see. Let's see. And your poetry has appeared in Artist and Influence. Yes, I've been under the influence many a time myself. And let's see, Pivot, Poetry and Performance, Chadakoin Review.
I think it's Chadakoin. It's
Chadakoin?
kind of Indian name.
Manhattan Poetry Review, Broadway Boogie. That sounds like fun. All sorts of things. And done a couple of interesting readings, the Hatch Phillips Studio and City College, CCNY, Bank Street College and the College Street Bank, and all sorts of fun places. Let's see. You were an artist in residence at the Birdcliff Artist Colony. What's that like?
Actually, I was at Palinville. I got accepted at Birdcliff, but couldn't go.
Oh, I see.
Birdcliff is nice. You know, it's outside of Woodstock.
Yeah.
And it's trees and little cabins built in the 20s.
And birds.
Yes. Well, not so many birds.
Well, I would hope, certainly. The only place I was ever artist in residence was Leavenworth, but I don't want to get into that today. But enough bio. We've come for the poetry. So,
okay.
Victoria, hit us with something.
This is, I think, my most recent one, so it tells you where I'm at the moment. It's called Dating Again at 50. A fun thing. In the phase of life where fix-up dates are manna in the desert, and 3 removes of separation, the friend of a friend of a friend, is nothing. Even if one's date is slightly confused, how could his friend's wife know I'd be fabulous for him if she barely knows me? I ignore the potential comic opening to maintain the new demureness I'm developing in response to the current wisdom. Women mustn't scare men by being their true ironic selves. Look at Hillary Clinton. That cookie remark got her in a heap of trouble. Irony's out, sincerity's in. One man told me on the phone I sounded sweet. Boy, is he in for a surprise when we get together for that drink. My skinny, buffed friend tells me I've got to drop some weight, work out, and develop a positive attitude. I find myself ordering a second wine. It seems obscene at this stage of my life to be waiting with a big, brave smile plastered to my face like I did at 12 at dancing school. Then at least I knew I could compel several quaking lads in my direction with my pre-adolescent bravado and the soft swish of taffeta. Now, a widow, I must lace myself up into party duds and hope the tinkle of my laughter connotes come on and not despair, as if I care, and yet I do.
So how did the date go?
Well, let's see. That was a pretty good one, but it turned out he lived in Massachusetts and then he immediately moved to L.A. So we've had 2 emails. Very exciting, getting an email from a date.
Yes, we want to encourage everybody in our audience to practice safe email.
Yes.
What else have you got in there?
This is one I wrote about computers.
Mm-hmm.
And I had this sort of fantasy, what if Marcel Proust, the man of the many-volumed work in France, had a computer? So that's the sort of content of this.
Oh, Lord, there'd be no stopping him then.
It's called Conversing with Machines. When Proust sits down at his Apple II computer to write, all he has to do these days is push the recall button, and great chunks of those Cambrai years appear all green across the screen. A cascade of mother's kisses, raining memories no longer contained only in the merest taste of Auntie's tea cake, but lodged in data dots, bytes, bits, A fusillade of Technicolor seconds, all neatly stored in the memory banks. Walking down the garden way, it's Monsieur Swan, awash in need for the tawdry, tardy, bad Odette. Odette. She has whole drawers of information coded to her slutty ways, promiscuous petticoat edging the screen. Marcel's eyes grow bleary as he stares. He takes a break. Coffee from his Mr. Coffee. The news on 1010 wins. Another politician has been found poking proles in local parks, and 2 more football players admit they've got to quit toking at parties. It's a marvel. All of this stuff gets stored now. Here below ground in our cork-lined rooms, we just hit the button and a lost world looms. What next? We are conversing with machines.
Odette, where is thy sting?
Yes, Odette, Odette.
Sorry, I couldn't resist that. Where do you suppose we would find a floppy disk big enough for Marcel Proust to submit a novel?
They're making it now. As we talk, they're going faster and faster.
That's true. It would have to be one of those removable hard drives.
Yes.
What triggers off this sort of thing when you're writing?
Well, this one was an interesting one. I wrote it to music, which is why I sort of perform it more. And the music was written first, and it was called Conversing with Machines, about computers entering our life. And something wacky just hit me, like how much we're controlled by this. And so I got this image of Proust.
Let's see. You're also, by the way, a professor of English at St. Peter's College in Jersey City. I don't know why I'm telling you that. You know it already.
Yes, I do.
Has St. Peter ever dropped in?
No, St. Peter is up there, waiting for arrivals.
Okay. What do you tell your students generally? Do you tell them to have fun as well?
Actually, it's interesting. I do. I started my most recent poetry and drama course by saying that our main goal was to have fun, and our subsidiary goals were to read, write, and think.
How do you feel about that, Alicia?
I'm all for that. I love the conversing with machines. I love that piece.
Long as I've got you here, why don't you slip something in?
Okay, I think I'm going to read this poem. This is actually the first poem ever accepted for me. It's called Curious. What if I approached him, tall and well-built, dark hair and eyes, the American openness in the face, shoulders twice my width? Does he even know how he looks? Or does he take it for granted, an unaware grant? What about my husband? Would he understand? How would he interpret my behavior? Unfaithful, dissatisfied, wanton? What label do I put on it? Curious, to know what it feels like to be with a God in flesh, to know how gods behave in private.
Was it anybody I know?
This isn't a supermarket, it's one of those moments.
All right. Well, the gods got to get their stuff at the supermarket, just like the rest of us.
And shop for soda.
That too. Let's see, Victoria, do you have any supermarket poems by any chance?
I don't have any supermarket poems.
Well, what do you have?
Well, can I read a serious poem?
Well, if you absolutely insist on it. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's called Mercy. My husband, Steve, died of cancer. And I've written a lot of poems about him because I've really been obsessed with that whole experience of going through that. So this is one in memory of Steve. Over the mercy of mercy, the beach trips we didn't take, the husband dead, and so he can no longer gaze at me with looks of love. The saddest words, the ones unsaid. My father's brain scrambled like television static for his final Alzheimer's decade. But he would look at me with poignant looks of love, reaching out once to touch my face and say, "You are so beautiful." A whole sentence blown free of neuron damage, a shock, a gift. He found me beautiful. But my husband would say nothing, drained in his pain and despair, gripped so tight in the grasp of death for nearly a year. I waited for the flow that never came, fed him, read to him, brought fluids and pills, paid nurses and bills, felt unloved and abandoned in the face of certain death. How to crawl out of this rock-strewn canyon, where I hate the ceaseless lava flow of rage. Shall we say, I am the trodden earth that seeks the rain, the dead flowers, brown leaves. Shall I tell you the truth? I loved the air he breathed.
Yes, it is. Do you find writing such poems to have curative powers?
I thought about that a lot while he was sick, and I felt like it did something for me. I'm not sure it was curative, but it was maybe like a little touch of, language helping you to just put your life into some kind of context.
All right. Well, you could cure us with another one if you
Well,
like.
I'll go lighter this time. This is an old one called An Unsent Postcard to the Departed Lover. I think I had a lot of those, where you really wanted to just let
What,
someone
postcards?
know after the fact, what was going on. An unsent postcard to the departed lover. Imagine my hair uncombed in the back so long, a foxhole, a junkyard of burrs and knots. Picture me without your care, your tender combing. But then someone has brushed it. He walked in on me combing desperately and futilely. You know my fashion. Let me brush it. And he did, all over, tingling my scalp round and about. Mine is demanding hair. This has happened twice now, so all is not despair. Do you care? After the rain, we drank Grand Marnier and delicately nibbled chocolates. Did you think I'd slash my wrists?
There's a question. Was this a picture postcard by any chance?
I wanted him to picture me with someone else combing my hair.
Okay, let's jump to one more.
Okay, do we have time for this one? Disillusionment in the country?
Let's give it a shot.
Okay, this was up in the country, and I was taking care of someone's cat for a couple weeks in the summer. I've fallen out of love with the cat. It's hard to know just when this began. Was it the other day when he playfully bit me? No blood was drawn, no skin punctured, and yet our trust was severed. Now, when he walks about the house, I'm less inclined to stroke his back, laugh at his belly showing shenanigans. And his endless pleas for food move me less. There's a chill between us. Maybe it was too many house guests. Before they came, we were all alone together, and like a honeymoon couple, we discovered our love. Now we are more instant lovers who sadly find after 2 or 3 times in bed that they're less enamored of each other. He sees the rough skin on her feet, the odd-shaped toenails. She discovers his morning breath and poor driving. Romance is tricky. You move through it like slow motion in some delightful French film. Only now in the dark I feel less close to this beast I barely know. Let his owners return. We're merely woman and cat now. Nothing to mourn, just bye-bye.
And who pronounced you woman and cat?
Indeed.
That gives me an idea for business. Instant lovers, just add water. I'm going to slip over there. Let's see, do you have a haiku in there by any chance?
No haiku. I have a very short poem I know by heart.
All right.
It's called The Rewiring Job. It's an old one, a classic. Each new man requires a rewiring job on my head. Not only new wires, but old plugs and outlets must be removed. If I'm not careful, my fuses blow, sparks fly, and I'm left standing stiff, shocked, my fingers burnt. And men, must they rewire too? Or do women come in standard voltages? Only minor adjustments necessary.
Actually, we don't rewire, we just change our batteries. Victoria Sullivan, thank you for coming on Poet to Poet, and thank you to Alicia Wood, and thanks to Vic and Andre for letting us come in the Orange Bear and run the air conditioner and all kinds, and watch the art being put up and all kinds of fun things. So, until next time, this is Robert Dunn for Poet to Poet saying...